So the first way I would like to speak, I got a taste of it with a Sufi. When I was 18, I was living with a Sufi for a while, and he was quite an eccentric man. He would ride his scooter in a very rash way. He would jump from places. He had a hammock tied to a tree and very high up where nobody else would go, and he would challenge people, you cannot climb here. If you climb here, you will fall. Even at his shop, he had a clothes shop, and he was selling children clothes. One afternoon, a lady came and asked for a t-shirt for her child. She asked for the price of it. He said, it's 100 rupees. She said, give me a good price. He said, okay, take 125. And I started to understand that this man is functioning in a very eccentric way. I don't understand how he's functioning. About his recklessness, I would question him now and then that why are you so careless? And one day he replied to me, you know what? Life is like a curtain. And when death happens, that curtain is lifted and you are face to face with your beloved. This is why I'm not afraid of it. I'm living life to the fullest. If I'm afraid, I'm not aflame. I'm not in my fullest glory to meet my beloved. And as the Sufi stages of love go, the first one is attraction, the second one is infatuation, attachment. Then there comes passion, trust. Then comes prayer, madness. And the last one is death. But that death is not physical death. It's fana, death of the ego. So when your ego dies, when you disappear as the drop, you find yourself as the ocean. You meet the beloved. The drop is gone, the ocean appears. So all a Sufi does, all his life, he begins from the earth he loves, but he's going towards divine love. And the ultimate is moth, fana, death. And this is where you can get the first taste of death, in love. When you are in love, even in romantic love, what are you doing? As a mind, you're always chattering, you're always pursuing your ego, your dreams, your desires, ambitions. And when you are in love, it is like you were in this room where you were projecting your dreams, and the lover knocks at the door. And now you shut down all your projects. You open the door, you welcome the beloved and show them the room that you got. You create that space inside of you. You die in that moment so that you can welcome the beloved, so that you can live the beloved. That is love. To soak the beloved as a sponge so that nothing is left of you, only the beloved is. And this is the first taste of death one can get. Even if it is romantic love, that is why there is so much of ecstasy in the crudest of love. When I fell in love for the first time, this is the glimpse I got. That is why I'm sharing it with you. That when I was spending time with my beloved, hours would pass and I would not come to know. I would be lost in her. And a time came when I started feeling that I am her. I lost myself so much. So love is the first window through which you can approach death. A time comes in love where it will challenge you again and again to shed some layer of you. It will expose a lot of you. It will want you to be that clean mirror that can reflect the beloved. And for that cleaning, you will have to take out all your conditionings, all your prejudice, all your judgments, so that you are totally available to the beloved. And one day, moving from one stage to another, from attraction to attachment to passion to trust, you will reach a point where the ego is not, and the first glimpse of death will come to you. We can just speak about it right now, but when you experience it, you will know that love is death. The second one is meditation. In meditation, it is not about only concentration. It's like the lake of your mind is in chaos. There are ripples and waves and so much going on inside. And now you just sit by the lake and let it subside, let it become quiet. And slowly the lake becomes quiet, the ripples disappear, and it becomes utterly tranquil. In that tranquility, there is nothingness, and you can reflect what is. That is meditation. That is what Patanjali talks about, the state of dhyan, when your attention is just flowing. Not concentration, not focused on anything particular, but just flowing attention. And slowly it moves towards samadhi. The lake is becoming utterly tranquil. There is no movement, there is no fluctuation in the mind. So when there is no thought, you suddenly disappear as you are. For our psychological entity, we need thought. I need to think about me again and again to perpetuate this entity. The mind is always trying to preserve itself. It's always trying to secure itself. So it is a very courageous act to become quiet. It seems that a quiet person is just passive. But actually, a quiet person is the person who is fearless. Because a brain which is going on, which is always in movement, in thought, it is trying to secure itself. It has no courage. But the moment it becomes utterly still, it stops to preserve itself. And in deep meditation, you get a glimpse of what death is. And the first time it happens, it can be scary. People chase this experience for bliss. I want to taste samadhi. I want to taste satori. But sometimes when it happens, it can really make you afraid. It happened with me. I was in my early 20s and I was experiencing certain states of disappearance, certain quietness in which even the body seems a bit distant. And I would reach out to my guru, my teacher, and I would be really, really afraid of those states. And I would ask him, what is this happening? I feel as if I'm going to, lose this connection with the body. And he said to me that you're getting acquainted with what is beyond this life. You're getting acquainted with what is beyond death. So first you will have to taste what is death. In meditation, in deep meditation, when your mind is utterly still, you are going to taste what is it to not be as the ego. The ego needs to be re-emphasized again and again. You have to remember, I am this, my name is this. And you have to re-emphasize it in the society. If you are a very successful, respectable person, you need to go in front of the people who respect you in order to remember. If you are to be famous, you will go outside the balcony. You will try to look which fans are looking at you when you walk in the street, who is coming to you. You want to re-emphasize that you are famous. Otherwise, a famous person would just recede into his solitude if they came to know that I am famous, that is it. But we need to re-emphasize the fact of the ego. The ego is very insecure. This is why the more egoistic a person is, the more insecure they are, and the more afraid they are of dying. And the more afraid they are of meditation. Their mind cannot be quiet. And this is why most interested people in meditation will be the famous ones, the rich ones. Because they have reached that peak of insecurity. And they now want to experience what is beyond this insecurity. Meditation can give you a glimpse into death. But for meditation, we need to prepare a lot of things. The happening is very natural. It is your natural state. You don't need to do anything. But to come back to learn, to not do anything, becomes quite complex for this mind because it is so used to keep doing things. It is so used to be always plotting, moving towards the future or the past. It is very difficult for it to consider that I can be quiet. You almost feel guilty if you are sitting quietly. You feel there's so much potential inside me and I'm just sitting here doing nothing. But it is your natural state. And your natural state is beyond the body. Consciousness is not in the body. Perhaps the body is in consciousness. Receding into that natural state, you taste what is beyond the body. A glimpse of death. And the third and the most accessible way of tasting death is work, your karma. You will see that artists are so lost in their art. A musician is so lost in their music. A friend of mine, he has been playing the guitar for around 25 years now. I know him since 20 years. And he is so lost in his music that music that comes out of him is his person. He is that music. It's not that music is separate from him. You can see that music is him. He has lost himself there. So when you lose yourself in whatsoever you love to do, or whatsoever you feel that must be done, should be done, that losing of yourself, that losing of your ego for something you love to do, gives you a taste of death. Because you have to die, every other part of you has to die in that moment. So that you can be totally devoted to it. You must completely disappear to all the other parts of you so that only your work remains, only that action remains. You will see many animal lovers, when they see an animal suffering, they forget totally their life. They are rushing so that they can relieve that animal's pain. That deep compassion brings meaning to their life. They feel the other's life. And they get devoted to that cause, no matter what that cause is. But you can see that they have forgotten themselves in that act. That losing yourself in any work that brings meaning to you can give you a taste of death. Because you are leaving all the other indulgences of life aside. Your vibration is only into that action. If you have noticed, all the three glimpses that we spoke of love, of meditation, and of work, these are the three main yogas in India. There is Bhakti Yoga, there is Raj Yoga, and there is Karma Yoga. And yoga essentially means union. When the individual unites with the ultimate, when the feminine unites with the masculine inside of you, when the active unites with the inactive, when all the opposites merge and disappear into the indescribable, that is yoga. All these three. So whatsoever really makes sense for you as a person. There are some people who are very emotionally intelligent. For them, bhakti makes sense. For them, the path of love makes sense. They already have found themselves at the certain stage of that love. Some have found themselves in attachment, some are in trust, some have reached prayer, some have reached madness. They are just a jump away and they will lose themselves into fana. Whereas some people are not so much relating to this path, then for them there is meditation. In that, it is coming back to your natural state. You let things happen. You just sit by the side of the river and let it flow and see what is happening. Slowly you will come back to your natural state and you will get such deep experiences, not only of life, but also of non-being, of being away from the body. And then there is karma. If you don't understand anything about sitting still or anything about going into your natural state, if it feels for you too much, if you relate more with action, if you are a person who finds meaning in doing something for a cause or in art, karma is your way. And you will see that all these ways intertwine into each other. If you are an artist and if you are doing that karma in your art, you will slowly see these different stages of love unfold in your art, in your work. First, you will be attracted to your work. Then you will be attached to your work. Then there will be passion. Then you will have some confidence. Work will become your prayer, madness, and then you will disappear in your work. That same work will bring you to your natural state, because now it's happening so naturally. Your body wants to do this. Your mind wants to do this. So you can recede in your natural state. You will experience dhyan, meditation in your work. Your dhyan, your meditation, if you are a dhyan yogi, then your meditation will make you do karma which is of a yogi. Then you will experience that service in your action. If you are on the path of love, you will experience the natural state. You will do things for the lover as a karma yogi. So all these paths actually are just descriptions of that mysterious happening, the way you want to approach it. It just depends what your present state is like. And slowly you will find it's like a cube, different side of the same cube, different sides of the same phenomenon, different sides of your being. And ultimately, it is about your I dissolving, so that you discover the presence that is indescribable, the reality that permeates everything. Once you have the taste of the natural state, which is beyond this body, then slowly you will get an insight into phenomena like rebirth, into creation. You will notice that it is not your consciousness which is in this body. It is the other way around. Everything is happening in that awareness. And from that awareness, you can go from being to non-being. You have the switch to the world. You will realize that the switch to the world is right in your awareness. And that is true freedom. You feel so free from all objects. You don't see yourself as an object anymore, because you have discovered your natural state, which is beyond being an object. Then there is natural flow of compassion towards all beings, towards all expressions of consciousness. So I have described to you all the ways you can approach to get an insight on death. And if you want to read something deeper, you can read this little booklet by Ramana Maharshi. It's called Who Am I? It has many answers which will give you an understanding into the questions that you have.